Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupa Sarajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Visakam Vitamscha Om Gyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Chakalpatarubhyascha Kirpasindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vindaya Kulasudevya Priyaya Kesavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradevi Sativati Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasar Shri Gauravata Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Right, so good morning everybody. Good morning dear devotees that are watching us from their homes. It's been a while since I've been reading. I'm just trying to cover Sri Lekha D.D's service, and I'm just going to read. I'm going to read from the divine words of Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. His a compilation of his talks, informal talks, and this is revealed truth. Srila Govinda Maharaj here give us guidance in our practice of devotional service. And the main conception of this book is the essence of the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it's about the 10 fundamental principles. And I'm going to read them again so that we remember what this book, Revealed Truth, is about. Alright, so Dasha Mula Tattva, the 10 fundamental principles. Amnaya Raha Tattvam Hari Mihaparamam Sarva Shaktim Rasabdim Tadvinam Samscha Jivam Parikritika Balitam Tadvimukstams Chababad Veda Veda Paraksam Sakaramampi Hare Sardanam Shurabhaktim Sadyam Tat Pritim Eveti Bhavishati Jayan Gaurachandra Svayam Saha. So this is a verse, Dasa Mula Tattva Niryasa. And this verse contains the 10 fundamental principles of Mahaprabhu's teachings. He's Mahaprabhu. And in a minute you will be understanding and hear more about Mahaprabhu. And this verse says the following, which is the essence of our practice. Sri Gaurachandra, another name for Mahaprabhu, personally teaches the souls that 1. Revealed knowledge establishes the truth. 2. Hari is supreme. 3. He's omnipotent. 4. He's a notion of rasa. Rasa means nectar or juice or connection or enjoyment. 5. The souls are his separate parts. 6. They are either governed by material energy. 7. Or liberated from material energy by devotion. 8. Everything is a manifestation distinct and non-distinct from Hari. 9. Pure devotion is the way. And 10. Love for Hari is the goal. So in other words, and this is something that our gurus have given us in order to try to have a successful practice, we must understand first who we are and what is our relationship with the ultimate source of reality. 2. What is our goal? And 3. How should we practice to attain that goal? In this case, our goal is prema bhakti, of love for God. So, that being said, let's continue reading about this verse. And these are the words by Srila Govinda Maharaj about this verse. Within this one verse, which conveys the gist of the Dasamula Tattva, which is a verse, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us everything. He has given us the whole conception of Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Dev, and Krishna consciousness. If you can read and memorize this verse, then everything will be within you. The full conception of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat, everything, the gist of all revealed knowledge is within this one verse. But don't try to understand this verse by yourself. Hear it from an expert. Everywhere, throughout all the scriptures, this advice is given. You must hear from an expert. So hear this verse from an expert who knows its meaning. If you hear from him with full faith, you will understand properly what is what, and you will get everything. So, this verse contains the Dasamula Tattva, some principles, and we have already read some of them. We have already read Amnaya, which is revealed knowledge establishes a truth. And we have read Hari is Supreme. And we're going to go ahead and read chapter 5, the Emporium of all rasa, which is where we left off. So this is the main advice, and a very core principle for us is to always hear from an expert. And the concept of guru is fundamental for us, since without guru we cannot attain our goal, which is love for Godhead or liberation through devotion. So we're going to read from the expert. These are the words by Srila Govinda Maharaj, a highly qualified soul. He is the guru of many of the devotees in this temple. For example, Braja is a disciple of Srila Govinda Maharaj.
Actually, all of us are, not just me. All of us are.
All of us are. Well, I didn't get to know him, but I kinda feel his connection. I don't know if that happens to you, did it? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes me too. So let's just read. Chapter 5, the Emporium of all rasa. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu has explained scientifically the supreme position of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He explains that the Jiva souls, we are Jiva souls. Jiva souls are souls, consciousness, or spirit. He explains that the Jiva souls, who are finite parts and parcels of Krishna, share 50 qualities or gunas with Krishna. Krishna is infinite and the Jiva souls are finite. Krishna is infinite and the Jiva souls are finite. The Jiva souls are 50 qualities with Krishna in a finite way. That is, 50 of Krishna's qualities can be found within them to the extent that Krishna empowers them. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the source of all reality. Krishna means the Supreme Attractive, and that source of ultimate reality has multiple names. Krishna is one of them, the Supreme Attractive. And we are part and parcels of Krishna. Very tiny. And Srila Govinda Maharaj says that we share 50 qualities of Krishna. So let's see, what are those 50 qualities that we share in common with the ultimate source of reality? The demigods like Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Vaju, Varun, and so on share 55 qualities with Krishna. Narayana and Krishna's various avatars share 60 qualities with Krishna. but Krishna has 4 special, extremely wonderful qualities that he alone possesses. Qualities that Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu, Lord Rama, and so on do not possess. Because of these exceptional qualities, Krishna is the supreme worshipable Lord, the supreme personality of Godhead. You're going to hear a lot of new names, a lot of names like Shiva, Narayana, Vishnu, Rama, and they are expansions or avatars of Krishna. So the way Krishna reciprocates with reality is through his expansions or incarnations. And Narayan is one of them, for example, or Vishnu or Rama. They have different forms, qualities, and pastimes. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Srimad Bhagavatam is one of our scriptures, it's the one on the right over there. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Ete chamsa kalaha pumsaha krishnastu bhagavam svayam. There are infinite forms and expansions of the Lord, but Krishna is Svayam Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead, the original and topmost form of the Lord. Everything comes from him. Srila Jiva Goswami explained that the word Bhagavan means Bhajaniya Guna Vishista, he who has the most worshipable and attractive qualities. Because Krishna has the most transcendental qualities, more than the demigods, and not all the forms of the Lord, he is supreme. Krishna's name, form, fame, and pastimes are all supreme. The infinite. Krishna is the supreme, original form of the Lord. But for pastimes and creation, Krishna appears in a variety of forms. Om Purnam Madaha Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnam Eva Vashisyate. This verse says, Krishna is infinite. He has infinite forms. And his infinite forms are all infinite. If you subtract anything from the infinite, it is still infinite. Krishna's infinite character is always naturally full. And all of Krishna's expansions are also full. And still Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the most worshipable, original Lord. Oh, I'm sorry. Dandavat, Bhima Krishna Prabhu, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you. I heard you the whole time.
Great. Now for the devotees online. I think I was muted. Let me know, Bhima Krishna Prabhu, you can hear me now. All right. The spiritual world where Krishna lives eternally is called Vaikuntha Loka or Paravyumadam. There, infinite, eternally manifest forms of Krishna live within their own abode. We cannot conceive of this with our mundane intelligence. The Lord lives in the spiritual world in infinite different forms, each with his own paraphernalia, associates, and abode. So maybe something helpful for you, Chris, to catch up is something fundamental that Srila Guru Maharaj gave us in his introductory books. He says there are 3 different modes of nature: the exploitation mode of nature, the renunciation mode of nature, and the devotion mode of nature. The plane of consciousness we're living at is the exploitation mode of nature. Without exploitation, nothing surrounding us can exist. If you think about it, countries, relationships, companies, they all perform their duties expecting something back from the other party. That means I'm going to be friend of yours because you have something to give me. And that is a misconception. That is illusion that we're all living in because we think we're the center. So if we think we're the center, we want servers. We think we are masters. That's why we suffer, because we lose something that we thought it was ours. Then there is the renunciation mode of nature, which is what Buddhists practice or the impersonalists practice. They are smart. They know that karma is real. Every action has a reaction. So when you perform a duty from a consciousness of exploitation, there is reaction. If you exploit someone, you will be exploited by someone else in the future. So the Buddhists or impersonalists, they meditate, they renounce. They say, I'm tired of the material world, of the repeated cycle of birth and death, of joy and sadness. And they meditate, and they want to become one with the totality. That is called Brahman effulgence. But it's just like a relief. That is what our gurus are telling us. It's just like a relief. It's like when you're being choked, and you tell the person, please stop. They stop choking you and you feel relief. But it's not the joy that your soul is actually seeking. And then there's the other plane of consciousness, devotion. And that is what your soul is waiting for, to be awakened. Devotion. And devotion is something foreign to us, very weird and strange. And our gurus are giving this to us, this conception. And devotion cannot be attained by knowledge or by action. So how then can that be attained? The highest conception of reality. Well, I don't know that answer, but we can keep reading. So, the spiritual world, it has that plane of consciousness of devotion. And that is what Krishna's about. Everything is just devotion, and he's the center. Everything else are just servitors of the Lord, Sri Krishna. The spiritual world where Krishna lives eternally is called Vaikuntha Loka and Paravyomadam. Their infinite, eternally manifest forms of Krishna live within their own abode. We cannot conceive of this with our mundane intelligence. The Lord lives in the spiritual world in infinite different forms, each with his own paraphernalia, associates, and abode. All these forms of the Lord are known as Vishnu Tattva. Lord Narayan is an expansion of Krishna, who lives with his consort Lakshmi Devi in Vaikuntha Loka and enjoys unlimited power and opulence, and he is gloriously worshipped by his associates with great majesty eternally. Vaikuntha means Vigata Kunta Yasmat. Vaikuntha Loka has the power to appear anywhere. It is infinite and can immediately take a position with the infinite, with the finite, realm by the Lord's will. Narayan has many avatars. Mahavishnu, the maintainer of the whole material creation, is an avatar of Narayan. Avatar also can mean incarnation. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, the maintainer of this universe, is an avatar of Narayan. And Shirodakshayi Vishnu, the maintainer of every Jiva soul, is an avatar of Narayan. These Purus avatars span down from Narayan to maintain the material creation. So Narayan is a form of the Lord, and his pastimes or qualities is that he's very opulent, he's very beautiful, and his devotees in Vaikuntha Loka, in his abode, they worship in a very formal way. But there are other forms, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord that are not of that nature. They're kind of more sweet, where Krishna is a kid, for example, or a son, or a lover. That's like kind of elevated topics. The Lord's purpose. There are also other types of avatars that come down from Narayan. There are the Lila avatars, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Badman, Nishrimha, and so on. These forms of the Lord appear within the material universe, but also have eternal abodes in Vaikuntha Loka. There are also Yuga avatars, forms of the Lord who distribute the Dharma of an age, and Shaktiavesh avatars, empowered Jiva souls who fulfill the Lord's will. There are so many different types of avatars that come down to this material world from Lord Narayan. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmanam shrami aham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dukstram dharma shamta panartaya sambhavami juge juge. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a very important scripture for us. It gives us an understanding of the fundamental principles of reality, who we are really. Have you read the Bhagavad Gita? Yeah? Beautiful. And this verse that we just read says, whenever irreligion takes the place of religion, and religion becomes disturbed, suppressed, or polluted, different forms of the Lord appear to rescue the conditioned jiva souls and give nourishment to the sadhus. The Lord's avatars come to make peace in the world, re-establish the religion of the soul, and perform their play for their own purpose. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an example of a Yuga avatar. If I'm not wrong. Mahaprabhu is a Yuga avatar, right? Maybe Bhima Krishna Prabhu or any other devotee can clarify this.
Yes, he comes in the time of Yuga.
Yeah.
Yes.
So right now we're in Kali Yuga. Have you heard about the Yugas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right now we're in Kali Yuga, and he was the Yuga avatar of this age. So he came to give the highest conception of reality for the lowest type of conscious beings. And that's us. That's why he's like this, like even the highest to the lowest. It's very cool. The Lord does not only appear once in this world. He appears many, many times to fulfill his various purposes. Sometimes persons learn something about one form of the Lord, and through that, think they know everything about the Lord. The idea may come to them, I am Krishna Bhakta. I do not want to see the face of Nishrimha Dev Bhakta. I do not want to see the face of Rama Bhakta. This is not the proper understanding. It is a lack of real knowledge, actually. Really, it is very good to praise other religions. By having respect for other religions, we can make a proper comparative study of theism. That is very good. It is very good to know why we practice Krishna consciousness. There are so many demigods and so many forms of the Lord. We respect the Son of God, His Father in heaven, and everything. But why do we worship Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? It is necessary to understand this. The Lord of the Vedic culture. Lord Ramachandra is a very famous avatar of the Lord who appeared in the Tetra Yuga to re-establish the Vedic religion within this mundane world. Everywhere, everyone knows of Lord Ramachandra's great character. All over India, everyone is very enthusiastic to chant Jai Ram. His character is described in gist form of Srimad Bhagavatam by Vedavyas, and in the Ramayana, it is described in grand way. there are so many stories about Lord Ramachandra's great character. But the vital point of all of them is that he is Maradhya Purushottam. He appeared to establish the Vedic religion, and his pastimes were guided by the regulations of Vedic religion. All of his actions and his character were perfectly organized and moral. He set the example of the perfect practice of Bidi, the rules and regulations of the Vedic religion. His speciality was that he accepted only one wife, Ekapatni Brata Daru. Through his character and example, Lord Ramachandra reestablished the Vedic Dharma. The Lord of Love and Play. Lord Ramachandra's character is so great, but is completely different from Lord Krishna's character. Lord Ramachandra is known as Maryada Purushottam, and Krishna is known as Leela Purushottam. Krishna's pastimes focus on love and play. For that reason, Krishna is known as Leela Purushottam. When the Lord appears as Ramachandra, he follows the rules of the Vedas perfectly, to the extreme. That is the character of Maryada Purushottam, or Ramachandra. But when Krishna appears to taste the love of his devotees, he sometimes does not follow the restrictions of the Vedic religion at all. Still, both Ramachandra and Krishna are Purushottam, forms of the Supreme Lord. We must understand that Krishna is always the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He never loses his supreme position. Even if he does not follow the Vedic religion that he himself establishes in the world, in his other avatars, he is still the Supreme Lord. We can understand this through the example of Bhishmadev. Bhishmadev had perfect moral character. It is beyond even doubt that Bhishmadev could make any Vedic moral transgression. He was respected by everyone in the Vedic society as Mahajan, a great exemplary soul. Everyone everywhere knew of him and respected him. In large assemblies of kings, Brahmans, and dignitaries, everyone will give first honor to Bhishmadev. Everyone considered Bhishmadev to have the highest dignity. But that Bhishmadev gives full honor and obedience to Krishna. Once, when Krishna came to an assembly of many great persons in which Bhishmadev was the guest of honor, Bhishmadev stood and said, "When Krishna is present here, he must receive first honor from everyone. He is more worshipable than anyone." Then Bhishmadev offered a flower to Krishna's lotus feet in front of everyone. At that time, Krishna had so many wives, so many girlfriends, and so many things. Through Bhishmadev's example, everyone accepted that Krishna is Lord Krishna, and he can do anything and everything. Bidi Marg and Raga Marg. There is a great difference between the worship of Narayan and his avatars and the worship of Krishna. There are so many religious teachings in the world. It is very rare to get Krishna consciousness. The Vedic religion's main teachings is that you must be pious. You must follow the rules and regulations of the Vedas for proper social and religious life. The Vedic religion teaches that if your character and behavior is very clean, then you can worship and satisfy the Lord. Respect is 90% of Vedic worship. Vedic religion enables you to respectfully worship the Lord in his form as Rama, Nisrimha, Narayan, or otherwise. Through mantram and many instruments of worship, you can offer your devotion from a distance to the Lord according to the proper rules and regulations. Okay, that is the Vedic religion's main teaching. The worship, and now, the worship of Krishna is very different from the formal worship of Vedic religion. To worship Krishna, you must offer pure love, affection, and the hankering of your transcendental soul. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this process and mood of worship, which is known as Raga Marg, or spontaneous devotion. The speciality of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is Krishna himself, offering himself or distributing himself, that is the pastimes, the form and qualities of the Lord in this Yuga avatar. Is Krishna trying to taste himself? Is Krishna in the form of a devotee? And he distributing that high conception to everyone. In this age, this was like almost 600 years ago in India. So, the speciality of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's religion is love and affection. That is the only property used to worship in the line of Krishna consciousness. Through attachment to Krishna, love and affection for him develop. Love and affection are most attractive to Krishna, and as one's love and affection for him grow more and more, Krishna becomes more and more satisfied. If someone has love and affection for Krishna, then anything and everything they do will be satisfying to him. Any soul with that type of transcendental property is most fortunate. Persons who have preferred Vidhi Marg, like to worship Lord Ramachandra or Lord Narayan or other avatars of the Lord, meaning persons that chooses an structured way of worshipping, like a religious, like a structure. You must be like you must always respect the regulations of very Vedic religion, and that becomes the goal. Like regulations and the rules become the goal, is what Srila Govinda Maharaj is explaining us. So, any soul with that type of transcendental property is most fortunate. What transcendental property? The goal, the ones that make love and affection the goal. And then persons who prefer Vidhi Marg, like regulated worship, like to worship Lord Ramachandra or Lord Narayan or other avatars of the Lord. But persons who prefer the mood of love and affection for the Lord, Raga Marg, must be attracted to Krishna. In this way, we can understand Krishna to be the supreme personality of Godhead, reality the beautiful. Everything we desire we can find fully within Krishna. We want charm, beauty, love, affection, and ecstasy. We want success in our lives. All of these are fully present and alive within Krishna consciousness. All ecstatic activity is found in full in the Krishna conception. If we will try to search for a reason to serve and worship Krishna, then the answer will come that everything we need is fully manifested in an effulgent way in Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness we will find everything that we need. So we must worship Krishna. What do we really need? We do not need awe or reverence. We need happiness. We need joy. We need beauty. We need love. We are searching for these qualities. Birth after birth we are trying to search for these essential things. We need eternal existence, harmony, and the nectar of love, beauty, charm, and sweetness. If we search for these things, we will find that all of them are fully present in the Krishna conception. In no other God consciousness and in no other God conception are they fully present. The Ramachandra conception, the Narayan conception, the Baladev conception, and all other avatars of Krishna, none of them can give us the same rasa or nectar, the same ecstatic relationship with the Lord. And it's a fact that we're all looking for this nectar and joy in everything in this world. Work, people, video games, movies, drugs, alcohol. We're all looking for the same thing, and that is just connection, some joy. And it's a fact. It's not a mystery that when we find that joy, then it's over. And we're trying to find that joy again in the same things. But it's not the same. And then we become addicted. We're just trying to find that joy over and over again, and over again, and over again. And then Srila Govinda Maharaj says that for those who are looking for love, charm, beauty, and ecstasy, they will find that all of them are fully present in the Krishna conception. The emporium of all ecstasy. Why do I say no other? There is a reason. If you search within the Krishna conception, you will find the sonhood of Godhead, the supreme worshipable Lord manifesting a loving, playful, youthful form surrounded by all 5 possible relationships of rasas with the Jiva souls: Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhura. So this is something very beautiful that Krishna consciousness offers. And this has been given to us by Srila Guru Maharaj. He explains to us the 5 possible relationships between the Jiva souls, us, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they go like in an ascending way. First is Shanta, then is Dasya, then is Sakya, then goes Vatsalya, and then Madhura. So Shanta, the first one is a relationship where the devotees serve the Lord in a very respectful way. It's like very formal. And they just meditate on the Lord. And there's a little bit of service, of interaction between the devotees and the Lord. Then beyond that is Dasya, or servitorship, where the devotees, where the Jiva souls, they serve directly the Lord. They're serving Him. So there's a little bit more interaction, therefore there's a little bit more of rasa or nectar. Beyond servitorship, there's Sakya, friendship, where the devotees relate with the Lord as if they were friends, like a friendship type of worship. And that's kind of new. At least for me, I was used to the conception that the Lord is all-powerful, and you should feel afraid of the power of the Lord. So it's like a type of fearful type of relationship with the Lord. But then, in the spiritual world, not in this material world, this is in the spiritual world, there is a relationship where you can have a friendship with the Lord. Like you can even mock Him and push Him and tackle Him, but it's all pure, a pure relationship. Beyond friendship, there is Vatsalya. And this means like parenthood relationship with His devotees, where the Lord is a son and the devotees are His parents. Like literally, the Lord is like a baby, a little kid. And then His devotees are His parents. And then the highest type of relationship with the Lord is Madhurya Rasa, or intimate love. Like the love here in material world, like between men and women, but in the all opposite plane. Like it has nothing to do, like the love between men and women here, it has nothing to do with the intimate love of the spiritual world. So that is the most nectarian type of relationship between the Lord and the devotees. In other conceptions, you may find relationships with God, like the fatherhood of Godhead or servitorship to Godhead. We see that there are many other types of relationships with God. But according to Rasa Vichar, the science of divine relationships, The sonhood of Godhead is the best. The Supreme Lord's position is that He is the supreme controller of everything. That is fact. But if that Supreme Lord can also be controlled by love and affection, that is even more glorious position. Why? A father bears the burden of maintaining his children. If a father has no guardian, he has to maintain himself and also bear the burden of maintaining his children. A master must maintain his servants. A friend must care for his friends. But a son can have everything. He can have all types of relationships. When a son has a guardian, then he can even do wrong and still be protected. If the Absolute Lord performs his pastimes in a youthful form, he can enjoy all possible relationships. He can have a father or guardian, and under their care, he can simply play and enjoy. When the Lord assumes the form of a son, his pastimes become the sweet absolute. Krishna is known as Brajendranandan, the son of the king of Vrindavan. Krishna has a father and guardian, so he himself can play. He can be worry-free. That is the most worshipable sweet absolute reality, where Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always playfully situated in the center of everything. Braja Didi?
I think she's out front.
Oh, she's out? Okay. Jai Mahaprabhu.
Do you need her? I can go out there and check on her. Do you need to talk to her?
No. How we doing, Chris? All good?
All right.
We can keep reading for a little bit. Maybe 10 more minutes. Have you heard before the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan? No?
Might as well sit here and I got back
Yeah.
pains.
Yeah, no problem. Today we have a guest in Sri Chaitanya SCSMission, and that is Chris. He just walked in the temple. He lives very close by, and he decided to come and check the place out. So he's right now listening with us the morning readings. It would have been very nice if Sri Lekha was here. She has way more expertise. She served directly Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj and even Srila Prabhupada. I don't know if you've heard about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she served them personally. So she has better understanding than me, and she's better reader and like a storyteller. But today, like, we're trying our best, and we're reading like the words of Srila Govinda Maharaj, which is not bad at all. We're receiving tons of transcendental knowledge. All right, so we were reading about the form, qualities, and pastimes when the Lord is like a son. He doesn't have any worries. Even if he does wrong, if he's naughty, he will still be protected by the love of his parents. So he's worry-free. And those are the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. When the Lord has the youthful form of a son, then all relationships are possible with him. He can have a father, a mother, brothers, servants, friends, and girlfriends. He can have everything. As a son, Krishna can be served from every corner in all different types of loving, affectionate relationships or rasas. And he can give ecstasy and joy to the heart of everyone. That is full-fledged theism, and only in such a conception is all beauty, charm, and ecstasy beautifully playing. Krishna is the most beautiful and extremely merciful. So much charm, love, and harmony are existing within the ecstatic Lord of the Krishna conception. So many different ecstatic feelings all merged. Sorry, I'm going to read that again. So many different ecstatic feelings all merge together within Krishna consciousness. The Jiva souls, us, feel unlimited happiness through that. It is inconceivable, but still it comes to them, to us. And the process is a very sweet process. Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhura rasas are the 5 kinds of relationship with Krishna. All are ecstatic. All are filled with loveliness, happiness, sweetness, beauty, and everything. To describe this, Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami used the word chamatkara, astonishing. Because all rasas are manifest in full with only the divine form of Krishna. Krishna is described as the Akila Rasamrita Murti, the emporium of all rasa, the reservoir of all rasa. With our limited minds, if we try to think about it, the reservoir of all rasa, or the reservoir of all joy and nectar, kind of inconceivable. Sometimes I think like maybe a workout has like a lot of nectar and joy. But then to consider like the reservoir, like the source of all that nectar, and just the idea that as Jiva, little tiny souls, we can attain that is beautiful and something to think about. Krishna's super excellent qualities. Srila Rupa Goswami has explained the 4 special, extremely wonderful qualities that Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, alone possesses. Are only to set a context, Srila Rupa Goswami was a disciple of Srila Mahaprabhu. And the service on the duty of Srila Rupa Goswami is to establish the principles and the process that we as conditioned souls should follow in order to attain the goal. So, Srila Rupa Goswami has explained the 4 special, extremely wonderful qualities that Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, alone possesses. The qualities that Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, Lord Rama, and so on do not possess. These are the qualities that distinguish Krishna as Svayam Bhagavan, the most worshipable personality of Godhead. Sarvat Bhuta Chamatkara Lila Kayola Bharitihi Atulya Madhura Prema Mandita Priya Mandalaha Tri Jagan Mana Sakarshi Murali Kala Kujitaha Asamanorva Rupa Shri Bhishmapita Characharaha. This is a verse from the Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sarvabhuta Chamatkara Lila Kaloya Bharidihi. This means the first quality is that the pastimes of Bhagavan Sri Krishna are like an ocean filled with dancing waves that stun and astonish everyone. Atulya Madhura Prema Mandita Priya Mandalaha. The second quality is that in his pastimes, Krishna is always surrounded by his associates, the super sweet gopis, Gopa Balakas, and other residents of Vrindavan Dham, whose hearts and souls have full, unequaled, I don't know how to pronounce this word, this Unequalled.
You starts with the U. Uniquely?
No, I'm gonna spell it again. Unequalled.
Unequaled?
Unequaled? Yeah, I think it's unequaled. So I'm gonna read again the second quality of Krishna. So the first quality of Krishna that He's like an ocean filled with dancing waves that stun and astonish everyone. Just imagine that. Then the second quality is that in his pastimes Krishna is always surrounded by his associates, the super sweet gopis, Gopa Balakas, and other residents of Vrindavan Dham, whose hearts and souls have full, unequaled dedication to him in 5 kinds of relationship led by Madhura Rasa. Then the third quality, Tri Jagan Manas Shakarshi Murali Kala Kujitaha. The third quality is that Krishna attracts the minds of everyone within the transcendental and mundane universes and enters the hearts of his devotees with the melodious vibration of his flute. Srila Guru Maharaj explained that Om and Gayatri come from Krishna's flute song, and when he plays the flute, Krishna sings the glories of Srimati Radharani, Radha Padam Dimadi. Then the fourth quality is Asama Nordadba Rupa Shri Bisbamita Chara Charaha. The fourth quality is that the personal beauty, Sri Saundara, I'm going to read that again. The fourth quality is that the personal beauty, Sri Saundarya, of Krishna's divine form is beyond compare. All moving and non-moving living entities are astonished and faint to behold the beauty of Krishna's divine form. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu described Krishna's 4 super excellent qualities in this way. So what were the 4 different qualities of Krishna? Can you remember? No. The first quality is that he's like an ocean filled with dancing waves that stun and astonish everyone. The second quality is that he's always surrounded by his sweet devotees. The third quality is that Krishna attracts the minds of everyone within the transcendental and the mundane universes and enters the hearts of his devotees with the melodious vibration of his flute. And the fourth quality is that he's so beautiful, beyond compare, that all moving and non-moving living entities are astonished and even faint to behold the beauty of Krishna's divine form. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu described Krishna's 4 super excellent qualities in this way. Among these 4 topmost qualities of Krishna, the final quality of his supremely attractive form is the highest. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami said, Bhushanera Bhushana Anga. This means that nothing is more beautiful than Krishna's transcendental form. Krishna's form beautifies even the ornaments he wears. Krishna's divine form is the ornament on his ornaments. We hear definitively that even Krishna himself is maddened by the beauty of his form. When Krishna stands in front of a mirror, he forgets himself and attempts to embrace his image in the mirror. He becomes mugdha, melted and astonished, to see his divine form. Krishna showed this to be true by appearance as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna is the reservoir of all beauty, and he himself becomes mad to see his beauty. That is the incomparable quality and qualification of Krishna. No one can compare with the beauty of Krishna's divine form or the love and charm flowing throughout his pastimes. Jai revealed truth by His Divine Grace Swami Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. So those were really, this is just an informal talk of Srila Govinda Maharaj. He will consider himself that his English was not very good, but he was good. It was good enough for us. This was only an informal talk by Srila Govinda Maharaj. And he's describing how beautiful Krishna is. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I don't know if you've heard about Mahaprabhu before. No?
Him?
No, that's Prabhupada.
Okay, I know him. That's
You know him?
the other one, so.
Prabhupada, Govinda Maharaj, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj. I know they're difficult names to pronounce, but it's okay. Mahaprabhu is the one that is behind the curtains.
Gotcha.
He's Krishna himself, but it's a special form of Krishna. He's the Lord trying to taste and embrace himself. So basically it's the highest conception of reality. Srila Mahaprabhu. All right. Yes, the restroom is over there. Yes. You want to chant? Do you want to chant?
Do I want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. 60.
It's page 66. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. I'm sorry, you want cartels?
I'll try.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinath Marana Mohana.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Radhara Shri Vasai Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Rupa Sanata Matara Humata. Shri Jiva Gopala Vata Vistara Gunata. Jai Gosai Koi Charana Vandana. Jai Devi Nanda Savista Purana. Jai Gosai Jara Mohita Radhasa. Dasavara Pada Renu Vacharasa. Jadira Charana Sevi Vadasa Nivasa. Janame Janame Mora Radhasa. Jai Gosai Jave Vraje Koila Vasa. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Lila Prakasha. Nande Guru Hari Vaja Vrindavana. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare